Paul, can you hear now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's great to be here with you all. Thanks for coming to today's South Korea information session for the summer 2024 study abroad program offered in partnership with the WICSA, which is Washington State Community College Consortium for Study Abroad. That's quite a mouthful to say, so we just call it WICSA for short. So I'm Megan Swanson. I'm the team leader for the WICSA South Korea program this year. I also have with me some of my team members from Green River College, Paul Sanchez and Andres Montano Leal. Paul has lived in South Korea for several years himself, and so we can rely on him as a bit of an expert if any questions come up about living environment and what to expect in and around the city and the university. He's also done a site visit to the university. So I'm going to go through our slides that we've pre-prepared for you, but if at any time a question pops into your mind, just feel free to put it in the chat and we'll make sure that we get to all of them. So again, this is the summer program. It is an annual summer program. So it only happens once a year in the summertime, and it's a 4-week long program. Oops. So you might have noticed if you've been tracking this program for a while, the dates actually recently changed. So it was set to start at the end of June. Now they've changed the dates by 1 week. So it's going to be July 1st through July 26th this year. So that's a 4-week program. I'm gonna try to show this video. This is a picture of the actual campus where you would be studying and living in Seoul. And I'm going to try to play this video that is made by the university. Hold on, I'll get it in the view for you. I can. I think I need to move this. Can you guys now see the screen with the video on it? Okay.
Yes.
There's no sound.
Okay. I think I have to change my screen sharing settings. Just bear with me for one moment. Better?
We see your email, though, and we hear the music. But my screen is stuck. I don't know about. Are you guys hearing the video? My screen is stuck, and I see a couple comments in the
Yeah,
chat.
same here. The video's not playing and it's frozen on the sign.
Huh.
2023 so done.
All right. Well, let's troubleshoot. And maybe it didn't like it when I made it full screen or shared it in a different screen mode. I can try this one. I might just leave it small.
There we go.
I'll just leave it like this.
All right.
You can figure out your dream and your vocation. This is my goal for you guys, okay? Welcome to Southern University.
Obviously, I want to come to Korea because I'm learning Korean, but as for like what were my interest stems in that, it's honestly just I've wanted to learn a language for a while, and for like pretty much my whole life, Korean's been the only language that I had an interest in learning.
I hope to learn more about the culture, to get great friendships out of the program, great memories, great experiences, and just to live as a more open-minded and more experienced person. I saw that they had this exchange program in the summer, and I said, it's going to be a perfect opportunity. So that's how I ended up here.
One of the things I'm highly looking forward to that I'm very glad that the program is offering is visiting the DMZ zone. I find it very interesting. Another thing that interests me are the different palaces that are found here in Korea. So I'm very much looking forward to that and glad that it's part of the program.
The field trip opportunities to learn about more the Korean cultures and meet different people. I've watched videos online about people's experience and how people from all over the world came here, and I was very excited to meet new friends here as well. The hospitality of Sogang has been like perfect. I felt like welcomed from the students, from the teachers, from the staff. So I think that this summer will be something that I will cherish for a long time.
This program was one of the few available, and comparing the other stuff, this had more to offer. Like we go on field trips, there are buddy programs, so I was like, Sogang University has a more fleshed out program that would be like easier to be in and meet new people. And it was more like Sogang was trying to give students more help than other unis, so I just came to Sogang instead.
All right, I got it.
I tried to look around at different opportunities in Korea, and I still thought that this was like the best one because of how centered it is, and I liked all the programs and the buddy setup. So I just decided to go here because the program was just really well made. I just want to become a more cultured person, you know, like a global citizen, so I can understand more about other people's cultures rather than just stay within my own. I think I'll definitely be happy to have gone on this trip, and I feel like it'll definitely be like a fulfilling part of my life that I'll say, yeah, I did that, and it was fun.
Congratulations on your becoming the member of the Sogang family. I'm so proud of you guys for your becoming part of Sogang University.
Okay, hopefully that gives you a nice kind of visual glimpse. Hopefully you were able to see the video after all that. It's a very cool program because it's open to students from all over the world, not just the United States, but as you saw, the students quoted in there that they were coming from different universities and a really good mix of people. They had about 60 people in the program last year, and this year they were they're hoping to have about 100 students attend the summer program. So, but they have unlimited capacity. So it could be a really large group or it could be kind of mid-sized group. So I'll continue on with our slides here. As an overview, the program is 4 weeks long. You can choose to take either 5 or 10 credits. And so that equates to 1 class or 2 classes. They have morning class session blocks and afternoon class blocks. So each WICSA college has to get the classes approved on their home campus. So this list here is the list of classes that Green River College has approved for our students to pick from. I think overall there's like 10 or 12 classes, but a few of them just don't fit well with what we offer here. And so they weren't able to offer an equivalent credit. So the Korean language is offered through Pierce College. So if anybody here wants to take a Korean language class, that's totally fine. And we'll help you to navigate the process to like dual enroll at Pierce and your home college, just so that you can get those Korean credits. But if you're not doing Korean language, these are other kind of representative classes that are offered. So we've got sociology, math, history, politics, even business, and a programming data class. So pretty good menu, and this is unique among WICSA study abroad programs. Usually our programs offer just a set required grouping of classes that you have to take. Here you get the flexibility to choose from the menu. Keep in mind that if classes aren't very popular and not that many people sign up for a certain given class, you might want to have a backup class and option in mind in case that class doesn't fill, you know, to be able to run it. So be flexible, think about a few classes that might work for you. So that's about the classes. It takes a bit of time for your home campus coordinator to propose the classes and get approval from the registrar and the academic department. So I see the question in the chat about OC. They may not even know yet, but there's a website from Sogang University that actually links out to the syllabus for every single class. So we can pop that in the chat a bit later for you all, so you can see exactly what's involved in these classes. But they are a bit intense because you take them for, I think, a block of 3 hours at a time. So a lot of our classes here are just 1 hour or maybe an hour and a half. So you're going to be in the same classes Monday through Thursday for 3 hours at a time. So if you are taking the morning block, that's going to be from 10 to 1. You get an hour break for lunch. And then there's the afternoon class block from 2 to 5 p.m. So it's a lot of time you're in class. I know the video showed the students out and about having a lot of fun, a lot of cultural immersion experiences, which will also happen. But please be aware that it is different than the type of academic schedule that you're used to here at home. But that's how they're able to fit in enough class time to get you, the academic credits you need. So in the evening times from around like 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 p.m., you have the option to participate in the club activities and or buddy activities with local Korean students. So you saw some of the club, like they had the Taekwondo club featured in the video. So that's an option of a type of club you could join. I think they also have like a photography club. And then the buddy activities are like going out and sightseeing around Seoul with Korean students who will kind of take you there to make sure you don't get lost. And you can also practice your language skills together if that interests you. Every Friday, there will be a large group field trip included in the program and guided by their staff. You saw some of them featured in the video as well. And I think Andres has queued up for us a list of the 3 weekly big field trips that are going to be offered this year. So we can show that at the end. And then weekends is your own free time. So you can relax, maybe do homework, and then go out and about sightseeing anywhere you like in the country or around the city. So that's a glimpse of what the schedule looks like. In terms of housing, there's an on-campus dormitory that everybody will live in, and they are shared. So you won't have your own room, you will have one roommate. And you do have a private bathroom, I believe, attached to every single bedroom. So that's a nice thing. You're only going to share your bathroom with one other person, which is pretty rare in campus housing. The cost of this housing comes out to about $527 US. It's optional though. If you have family who live in Seoul and they have a space for you and you want to live with them, that is an option. You can opt out of paying the dormitory fee, but make sure that, that's a really solid option, and do research like how far is it from the campus and how would you get there every day if you want to go that option. So I would recommend the dormitory. It's a large building, very modern, it has air conditioning, and it's right there. So it's actually, I think it's the one on the left. It's called Gonzaga Dormitory. And you just roll out of bed and there's like a little, like snack shop, convenience store here where you can grab items easily. All right, in terms of costs, everybody needs to know how much it's going to cost. So like I said in the beginning, you can choose 1 or 2 classes. So depending how many credits you decide to take, the price varies. So on the left grid, you can see the prices break down for 1 class through Sogong. And on the right is the class breakdown for taking 2 classes. This includes the dormitory fee. So that $19.50 or $24.85, those prices, that does include the dormitory fee of around $527 in there. But when you get your invoice from Sogong University, they do break it out so you can see what you're being charged for separately. Then you also need to pay for the credits from your home college to actually go on your transcript. So those rates are listed there. There's an administrative fee through WIXA that helps us provide scholarships. So there are some $500 scholarships available for this program. I think there'll be 2 of them awarded for this program. And that's what that admin fee helps to go to, as well as the operating costs of our consortium. So that's the amount that you'd pay. And then on the next page is additional costs. So you also need to pay for your own meals. There's no meal plan included for this program. So you will have to buy your own food. But as Paul can talk about to us, there's lots of cheap, easy, high quality food options really close by for you to eat. You will need to buy your own round trip airfare ticket, and they will tell you what day a range you can arrive on and what day you'll be leaving on. And this is our estimate. So obviously these prices vary depending on market rates. So this is just our best guess at this point. You're also required by Sogong University to purchase a medical insurance policy in case of emergency. If you get sick or injured while you're there, there are affordable and easy to purchase travel insurance options out there, and we will guide you on how to pick one. And you do have to provide proof to Sogong University that you've bought one before you travel there. And then lastly, if you wanted to get like a local cell phone data plan or a Wi-Fi, access so that when you're out and about in the city, you have data, we estimate how much that might cost. So this total extras is going to be out of your own pocket, as you buy it to the vendor, in addition to those costs you saw that you're going to pay to Sogong and your home college. All right, in terms of who's eligible to participate, all types of students can go, including Running Start and international students, and of course just regular students and non-traditional students. You just have to be at least 17 years old by July 1st. So by the time you go to South Korea. You also need to have completed at least 12 college level credits before you go. So if this is your first quarter in college and you're just now enrolled in, 12 credits, that's fine, as long as you complete them satisfactorily with at least a 2.5 cumulative GPA before you go. So if that's the case for you, at the moment, we can only offer you contingent acceptance until you do get your grades in for the 12 credits. All right, so when it comes time and you've decided that this is the program for you, if you want to apply, our internal application deadline for WIXA college students is May 1st. If you happen to look on the Sogang University website, it's a bit later, but we want to make sure to get you in there as priority deadline students and help you work through the steps to get enrolled and accepted by Sogang. So the first thing you would do is go to wixa.com and fill out the online application, and that will get routed to your home college's study abroad coordinator. And then they will reach out to you for an interview. But with your application form, it's going to require a personal essay describing why you want to do the program and what you hope to get out of it. You have to provide contact information for 2 references. So you do not need to upload letters of recommendation at this point in time. You just need to provide us with their name and their email address. And then your college study abroad coordinator will contact them and ask them to do the reference. But do make sure you give them a heads up and ask for their permission before you submit their email address. You also need to upload an unofficial copy of your transcript so that we see if you're meeting that 2.5 minimum GPA. So once you've submitted your WIXA application, you'll have an interview with your campus study abroad coordinator, and then they'll let you know right away if you're accepted. So if you get accepted, then you still have to do a few more steps to confirm your enrollment. So Sogang University has their own online application form you have to complete, and we'll provide you instructions on how to do that. And then they will ask you to pay the program fee within 2 weeks. So say you submit your application on a Friday, probably by Monday, you'll get the invoice from them billing you for the cost of the program fee. And they do ask you to pay it within 2 weeks. I've sent them an email this week and asked them if they're willing to delay that and accept a bit later payments. So I'll let you know, we'll see if that's allowable, but please know to expect that. The next steps would be that you would work with your campus coordinator to actually register for the classes that you select at your home campus and pay your home college tuition by the deadline, which is usually June 1st. If you're in Running Start, definitely talk to your Running Start advisor and ask them if you're eligible for any summer waiver credits, because you might be. There's a new rule this year that does allow that if the classes are eligible. All right, then before you go, we will definitely have a pre-departure orientation meeting to talk about all the logistics, what to expect. That's on a Saturday in May. And I just realized today that I may have a conflict on that date. So stay tuned, we may have to alter that date slightly. And then of course, June 1st is the absolute final date to pay all of your program fees and your tuition. So that's all that I have in terms of the prepared remarks and presentation. I see there's been a lot of discussion in the chat about different questions. So, Andres, if you've been monitoring it, do you have a recommendation of where we should start with those Q&A?
Yeah, well, I've been answering some of them, but we can just read them out loud, I guess, if someone else has the same question. People were asking where we can find the description of the classes, which is, you know, directly into the website that we can share, like Megan shared, or we can share it, I guess, after this.
I'll put that in the
Are we
chat
restricted to, yeah, are we restricted to inter-country travel? No, you're not restricted. You, as mentioned, you have the weekends to do your own traveling, but you don't want to interfere with the set schedule that, you know, Sogang University and, you know, your college has planned for you. So what most students do if they want to travel, they do it after the program ends, and they travel on their own and they come back. So they usually have like a different return flight. So yeah, there's no restriction on traveling. How often does the study abroad South Korea happen? Megan mentioned it, every summer. Are group activities covered in the fees? Yes, I did posted pictures of every single activity that is included in the program by week. We can show it. I guess we can share on the screen as well if you're interested, but it's in the chat. Can a student 16 or 17 participate in the program? It must be 17 at departure day to be able to participate. Is housing included in the fees? Yes, it is included in the fees. Can we pick our own roommate? What I said is like we can make suggestions to Sogon about roommate placing, but I'm not sure how did that work last year, Megan, about roommates?
Yeah, they assign them to you. So and they take your information about your, living preferences. I think they basically ask you like, how often do you clean your room? And maybe are you a night owl or an early person? And then they make the matches based on that. But if you have a friend who's going on the program, certainly you could just email them and say, hey, we really want to be placed together.
Yeah, and I guess it's worth to mention they place by gender identity. There was a question about flights. Is there like a group flight or will be traveling separately? I said that, it's free travel. You just have to arrive at, certain times, but we can connect you with the students that are going from Washington State if you want to like talk about different flight options. We can also do like a recommended flight for this particular trip.
Yeah, but there is no group flight and there is no airport greeter. When you arrive, they will, depending what time of day your flight arrives, they can send like a taxi for you that would be, already prepared to drive you to Sogong University, but there is no welcome wagon, that there is no bus provided. But it's very simple. To navigate from the airport to the campus, you can use taxi or public transportation. And our students who went last year all managed just fine.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, there was immediately after a question about public transportation and how affordable and easy it is. And Paul answered that is very affordable. Taxis are affordable, available, like transportation system is definitely better than ours. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Paul, do you want to say anything about transit?
Yeah, so again, buses and the subway would be the most economical mode of transportation. You can also, to pay for the subway and for the bus, you can go into any convenience store and you can buy a card, a pass. It's called the T card, T money card. I'm going to put it in the chat. And all you would have to do is just go into the store, you buy the card, you put, I don't know, $20 or so, and you can use that in the bus, in the taxi, and the subway. So that one card will cover every type of transportation available. So it's very useful. And also for the subway and the buses, each direction is roughly about $1 to $2 to the max. So it's extremely affordable.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, any other questions?
There was one question from Ian. Then can people apply now even if they have yet to complete all requirements? And my answer to that was like, you gotta talk to your WICSA or study abroad coordinator specifically to your college and review your specific situation. But ideally, all requirements must be completed before departure date. Is there any other comment about that specifically? But I don't know, maybe at the end of this Q&A, we can show like the WICSA coordinators or in every college to see who to contact. specifically about this. Let's see. When do we leave the States? So the program is July 1st. It starts on July 1st. You want to make sure you arrive the day before. So like June 30th, 29th, 30th will be like departure date. Team Money card. I don't know. Is there any other questions or someone who wants to maybe say the question out loud? Can open your mic.
There's a question just added, is there a curfew for the dorms?
Let's see, now curfew wise, there's not a, like, for example, like, they're not gonna lock the doors at 10 o'clock and you can't get in. You would have a card that would open up the doors, but there is a older gentleman who is the security guard that, well, there's actually like 4. They all take turns different times of the day. So they all have different shifts. And if it's past, I believe, 1 a.m., your card might not work and you would have to hit the button to get the security guard to come open the door. So in the form of a curfew, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I have to submit my school transcripts the day I submit my application if I'm trying to, you know, boost up my GPA. So, you have to submit your transcripts showing at, you know, close to a 2.5 in order to get to the interview stage. So, if you still have time, right? Until the end of winter quarter, when grades would come out by like April 1st. The application deadline isn't until May. So you could wait. Or if you wanna, you know, you can, I think you can start the application and then you don't have to finish it. You can leave it pending. But also I would say reach out to your campus coordinator and just let them know, like, you're intending to apply, you're working on it, so that they know you're in the queue, you're in the pipeline, so to speak, so we can know to expect to be working with you and start talking to you about logistics and things. It's really up to your coordinator how they want to handle that. If you get financial aid, is there any way that could help pay for the school fees? Definitely, yes. The way that can happen is if the classes you're taking count towards your ed plan at your college. So say if you're working on the AA DTA direct transfer agreement, just the general AA, and you know that you need a humanities and a social science credit, and you select Korean language and you select one of those social science, like a history class, and they're going to fit into your ed plan, then yes, financial aid continues to kick in and be paid out to you as normal. You do want to pay attention if you're choosing to take 1 or 2 classes, because if you only take 5 credits, you're considered, you know, only part-time and you don't get the full financial aid package that you normally would. So if you're on financial aid, I would encourage you to take 2 classes if they can both fit into your ed plan, so you maximize your aid award. You can also talk to your financial aid office and see if you have any unused aid, like from the prior term. So for spring term, if there's any excess aid that you could push towards the summer term for this program. Hopefully that helps. We're going to have a financial aid and study abroad workshop tomorrow at 2 p.m. If anybody's interested in that, we'll also record it and put it on the Green River Study Abroad website, and we do touch on the financial aid process there. There's also some FAQs about financial aid on the Study Abroad website. I can put the link in there for that. For the class we take, is there required textbooks? I don't think so. Do you guys recall? I don't think they require you to purchase. There's no additional cost for buying a textbook for any of those classes that I know of.
No, there should not be any additional fees.
Great. And then how easy is it, Paul, to navigate public transit even if they don't speak or read Korean?
Extremely easy because the signs that are in the metro station are in English and in Korean. In addition, you can also download a map from their, that would be in English, from the subway website. And also, I believe Kakao, if you download the app Kakao, is another way that Koreans, South Koreans use to communicate, kind of like WhatsApp. It's the most preferred way, but you can also order taxis with the Kakao app, kind of like Uber. And also it would provide maps of the subway.
Paul, can you also talk about food options? How much does it cost? Where can you get it?
Sure. All right, so food options. On campus, there are, I believe there's 4 little restaurants and there's 2 or 3 cafeterias on campus that you can choose from. If you don't feel like eating at any of those restaurants or the cafeterias, at the back gate, literally behind your dormitory, it would take you 30 seconds to get to the back gate when you walk out of your dormitory. But if you hang a left when you get out of your dorm, there are various food options at the back gate. Every university in South Korea has an area called Humun. Humun. Humun means back gate. And in the back gate are always restaurants, cafes, maybe little billiards halls, karaoke places for university students. You all are going to be very well situated in the heart of downtown South Korea. And in that area, there are 3 other major universities very close to Sogang. So if you were to walk out your front gate and maybe 4-5 minute walk, you will see a large amount of restaurants, bars, cafes, karaoke bars, student stores for student supplies, stationery stores, electronics and such. So everything is there. The average meal in the back gate, in the Humun, the back gate of the university, is roughly around $5 a meal. You can get like a kimchi stew with rice for about $5. You can also go into the Family Mart or the 7-Eleven that's on campus, and you can get kimbaps for like $1. You can get all kinds of food in there as well. Like all, it's kind of like Japan, like with bento boxes, they'll have all that stuff in the convenience store as well. If you go to a nicer restaurant, the meal might be like $10. So very affordable.
As you saw in the video, like most of the shots were like, you know, the students eating and experiencing the local cuisine, and I've been in Korea as well, and it's amazing. So things to look forward for sure, and cheap.
You guys are asking such really good questions, and I'm sure it's benefiting the other students in the audience. So if you have more questions, please ask us.
There was another question about like, do I have, if I'm, I think I lost it on the chat, but it's about like, do I have to be a part of a community college to apply in Washington State, like a community
You
college? in
don't
Washington?
have to be, no. I'm curious what that person's.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it, but there's so many
I'm not sure
questions.
if they're still here. I found it. It says, do you have
Okay.
to be a student at a Washington Community College to participate? No, you don't. But if you want our guidance and our support, yes, you should be, because our systems are set up that way to help you navigate it, right? And we also get a partner discount through Sogang for any of our WIXA students to participate. I think it's 20% off. But if you go to Central Washington or Wazoo or UW or Illinois State University, you can also just apply directly through the Sogang University website without first going through us. If you want to navigate that on your own, or if you want to work on the credits through your institution, you can do that. I don't think they will let you if you're just like a high school gap year student. I do think you need to be tied to an existing college or university to participate. Right, any other questions? Okay, well, if there are none, oh, there's one. Do you know if there is any vaccines that are required? COVID vaccine is not required. There are no other special vaccines. We always do recommend that our students visit a travel clinic or contact, general doctor's clinic and ask, just to see if you're up to date on general immunizations for your age range, to see, like if you've had a tetanus shot in general, measles, mumps, meningitis, those types of things that, the average teenager or 20-something-year-old would get. But no, there's no special requirement that you document any vaccines to enter or to participate. How does Wi-Fi work in the dorms? I believe it's just free access to Wi-Fi in the dorms, right, Paul?
Yes, it's free. And they'll give you all that pertinent information when you get in on the first day. They'll give you a packet with all the Wi-Fi information.
Okay, well, if that's all, we can close it out here, but you guys are welcome to email us anytime after this with follow-up questions. Yeah, just make sure you're well informed before you start the application process. If you're interested, contact your community college study abroad coordinator. Some of them are here today. So they'd be happy to just meet with you and talk through the details, help you answer questions before you apply, and look forward to working with a lot of you guys.